Hello, everybody. We're live. Mike, how you doing?
I'm dadgum believable, Isabel. How
Oh
are you
no, I'm
doing?
gonna have to drink again. No, this is not your show. This is my.
Look, I can't
What?
even I'm messing
What
up your
are
show already.
you doing?
Like a monkey with a laptop.
Hey, listen. Maybe you need another coffee. I need a coffee. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. It's freaking early. Let me tell you.
You know, winners play injured, man. I remember a guy telling me that. And I said, "You know what? I mean, if you're sick, you're sick, and you can't do, you can't do." But oftentimes, I mean, I don't know about you in the audience, but I could get sick on Monday, but I'm already calling in on Friday, right? Like I tell people, I say, stop reminding me I'm sick. Honestly, because sometimes I forget and I just keep doing things. And I'll go take a bubble bath. But you know, like being around such positive people, it's just amazing. You could be in a bad mood and then just be amazing happy.
No,
What's that?
no, no. Stop right there. Stop right there. You in a bubble bath? No, 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 Mike. No, that's no. That,
No visual. Hey, thank God nobody watches the first 3 minutes of this show,
you
right? Like
don't. No,
it's
you can't say that to me and get away with it. No, are you nuts? No, 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 no.
sweet Jesus. So who we got
Listen,
today?
let's. If you and I start on this subject, we'll never end. So hey, let's run the intro and bring our guest on.
Oh, I can't wait. This woman is phenomenal and a true
Yes,
leader. And dadgummit, y'all come in here and just take advantage of this free info, support her. Let's do this.
yes. Business is no longer only about products and services. More than ever, it's about connection and community. Business is about people. And that's why I created these live events. Every week, join me in discovering one remarkable individual. No shop talk here. It's about who they are and not what they do. My name is Isabel Fortin, and welcome to People, Passion, and Purpose. Guys, I say that every week, but this week I'm so happy because you can't imagine how much I love this person. I just described her to a friend of mine. She is 111 big, big, big heart. And she's got two legs and two arms and a gigantic brain because she's so freaking smart. It's intimidating. I love her. She's my sister. Please welcome Dr. CJ. Hi,
Woo, woo. You
hon.
know, good morning. It is early, and
Yeah,
I
for
had to
you,
have my
yeah.
coffee. Yeah, and I can't believe I just saw my sister Susanna up.
I
Hey,
know.
did you
We love
drink your
her.
cold
Hi,
water?
Susanna.
Hmm?
How you doing?
Good. I'm
You did
sick,
a great
actually.
job last night on Mike's live.
Oh,
Actually,
taking
you took
over.
over Mike's live.
Yeah, I know my camera wasn't working. Like, I have three cameras, right? None of them were working except for this other weird one that I usually do for gaming because I do gaming live sometimes on Twitch. And speaking of Twitch, it just twitched. And I was worried. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. They don't care about me. They care about the people who are here and talk about community. So,
That's right.
yeah, that was
That's
amazing.
right. But
Yeah.
today, that's not what it's not about community. Today is about you. And I know this is going to be difficult for you because I know you and your huge heart. And you're going to want to pass the buck on everybody and compliment everybody and level up everybody because that's your heart. But today it's about you and who you are and what makes you tick and what you love. So, honey, my first question is who has been the most influential person in your life and why?
I'd say my grandmother. God bless her soul, actually, because she was the first person that never gave up on me as an abandoned child. Yeah,
And on which side, dad or mom or dad?
dad's side.
Okay. How long has she passed? Because you said God bless her soul, so she's gone.
Yeah, so it's probably about 5 years now. that she has
Hmm.
passed away. She was born and raised in the Philippines. Her parent, my I met my great grandmother, which I was lucky enough. She died at 101.
Wow.
She was blind, but she was the best person to clean the house. Um, she taught me leadership at age 4, I remember, by cleaning the
That's your great
stairs.
grandmother.
Yeah, I said,
Wow.
she's like, leadership, and I don't know what leadership means. Someone who's on the top, that's what she said, to be the one that gets rid of first if the company is getting into trouble. I think she
Oh,
was talking
wow.
to me about it because I was asking why my grandfather was letting go this other uncle, because in the Filipino world,
Mm.
uncle is everyone is an aunt and uncle. And I
Mm.
remember one of my uncle's kid was crying because his dad lost his job, and I said, why, what happened, like we can't play anymore. And my grandma's like trying to explain to me about leadership in a way
Yeah.
she could at 4 or 5 years old. I remember because she was cleaning the stairs and she said, when you clean the stairs, okay, you don't clean from the bottom, because when you clean the bottom, you step, there's another dirt. You step, there's another dirt. So you
It
clean from
rolls
the top
down.
and then this way. And I was like, huh, okay, whatever. Like I didn't really think about it. And I said, so why is, Johnny crying? She's like, well, because he's the leader of the company, but the company's not doing so well for a long time. So grandpa, which is my grandpa, have to get rid of him. And I was like, that doesn't make sense at all. Like
Mm.
it didn't make sense to me as a kid. And I was like, I can't play with Johnny. That's all I care about. And she said so many little things. Like she would send me to a remote island that we own a farm. And kid you not, Isabel, this house is only banana leaf. The roof is banana leaf, and there's no walls.
Okay.
Um, and the floor we sleep in is I don't know, like 4 by 5 slats. That's all because
Oh,
we don't have
wow.
they don't have
Okay.
anything. And blanket was like a banana leaf. Like I don't know how they do it, but they kind of do it by hand. That was the only thing. And I told my
Mm.
grandma, I said, "Why do I need to come here again? Why do I suffer for 2 months again?" And she did that for 5 years of my life until I hit age 10. And at first 2 years, I hated it. I cried, and she said, the reason I do this is because someday you might travel the world. And if you can survive this for 2, 3 months every year for 5 years, you can be anywhere in the world and you'll survive.
I think we have a question, hon. We're in 1 month. We're in 1 month into 2024. What's the biggest win so far?
Meeting people in real life,
Ah,
from LinkedIn to real life. Because
yeah,
people,
because you just came back from Podfest.
yeah,
That's
yes,
wonderful.
yes.
That's wonderful. So who was the most that the people that you just met, who was the most surprising? Like, you meeting them, it's like, oh my God, she's taller than I thought, or shorter, or whatever. And it's not about, how they look physically, but sometimes when we take the virtual life into the real life, that's one of the first things that happens is like, oh my God, it's like almost disorienting, right? So what was the biggest, I don't want to say challenge because it's not a challenge, but the biggest surprise when you met these people in real life at Podfest?
That's really kind of crazy is because there's so many people I talked to on LinkedIn, especially Susanna, right? And I know she was tall, but if you see the pictures later at 9 a.m.,
Yeah.
I saw she was tall, like
Yeah, yeah,
she's
she's
tall.
tall. Yeah, she's very
And
tall.
I'm on my like tippy toe, and I was like, dude, back up. And I think Soaring Prophets too. James is super tall. I think
Yeah,
he's
he's
six
6'4".
three or 6'4", and my
4.
husband's six
Yeah.
one. And so my neck kind of hurts like this. I was like, can you just back up a little bit so I can see it this way in an angle? But I'm surrounded by tall people all the time. And so it wasn't that. I think it's the people that you meet online that are so like welcoming and hi la la la,
Yeah.
and then you meet them in person, it's like
Hmm.
the red lights just keeps coming, like is it gonna go green anytime soon? um some of it were kind of disappointing, but at the same time, you see the true colors of people
Yeah.
when you meet them in person, and that's why I love
Yeah.
people meeting in person.
Yeah. That's very true. If I come back to your grandmother, other than leadership, what's the biggest thing she brought, like lesson or whatever that you use now on a regular basis?
Um, Treat people with heart and
No, that's
compassion.
where you get that from.
Yeah, she always told
Oh,
me
wow.
growing up,
Oh,
we
we
had
love
money.
her already.
Yeah, growing up, we had money as a family, but we always provided scholarships. She would pick up kids from the street and put them to
Mm.
school,
Oh,
and
wow.
would never tell my grandfather because my grandfather is all about investment and buying more farms, and my grandmother would um, basically have them like hire them just so she
Mm.
could make an excuse like, "Oh, she works for us," but they don't. She
Okay,
puts them to
in order
school.
to be able to support them.
Yeah, put them to school, feed their
Wow.
family, give them a place because there's a lot of people who don't have. So
Mm.
she says, "You can work on our farm and I'll pay you. Just work on the farm and you can get all the food that you want in the farm." She was always been giving. She said, "When you die, you can't bring all this crap with you.
No.
So what counts is what you do for people, not what you can do just for yourself."
No. Well, that's very, very true, and that's what that's what it's all about, right?
Yes, it is.
So, tell me, beautiful CJ, um, what's the one thing I know you have more than one, the one thing that you are most passionate about in life, and how did that passion come into your life?
Helping people.
Wow, I recognize your heart.
If I die today, I know that I help enough people that I keep score with the man up there, whether you're a Christian or not. That's how I was always raised. Like my grandma is Catholic. I'm a born again Christian. She was disappointed when I did that. My mom is Buddhist, right? So in our family, like religion is just kind of like if you believe in entity, believe it, but we're not gonna get into your face about it. That's how my families are.
Hmm.
Um, but I think definitely that it's to a fault. I'm a people pleaser for one way or another, and I've been a recovering people pleaser. It's been hard, it's been difficult, but at the same time, it's always that. It's like just giving in to people to make sure that they can see how good they are.
Hmm.
Because sometimes we're so busy of living our trauma and our negativity that we can't see through fogs of negativity. So I
Yeah.
always want to help people see, yes, you are amazing, right? And sometimes in the battle of me doing that, I get hurt. But it is part of life. I have talked to my pastor so many times. I'm like, why is this freaking blah, blah, blah? I've always been like that. And he's like, because God blessed you with so much that you're here to give. And that's always been my passion is to give back no matter what, whether someone is looking or not. Soon as I see their smile faces, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, well, you're definitely heart-centered. It's you're I mean, you're one of the smartest person I know on this planet, and but your heart is the first thing that we see. You're yeah. Anyway, it's just this is not it's not for me to answer your questions, but coming back to because you said, something about being a people pleaser, where do you get that from? Do
My
you know?
grandma, my
Yeah.
grandma, everything is my grandma because I wasn't raised by my mom or my dad.
Hmm.
She always has given. I think it's. I know there's always a thing like, oh, you're a people pleaser because you have low self esteem. Probably growing up when you're abandoned and bullied. Growing up, I was bullied all
Yeah.
the time. I was super skinny. And believe it or not, I was, well, I guess because we're all Asians at that time, I was actually average height with my friends until everyone grew up. And I'm like, dude, what the heck? Why am I 5 feet and not growing anymore? Um,
Yeah, well.
but Susanna surprisingly said, I don't see you as 5 feet tall.
No, well, I haven't met you in person yet. That's gonna happen in 2024, but
Yes.
come hell or high water.
Yeah.
Uh, but Yeah, yeah, I understand what Susanna means. It's because your presence is 18 feet tall. So you don't, even if your package is tiny, your heart and your soul is so huge, and so is your brain, which makes me freaking jealous. Because not only are you kind, and not only are you beautiful, not only you're smart on top of it, is just annoying. No, that's a joke, but it's like you're the whole package. You got everything, and it is not, it was a joke, but it is not annoying because you use all of these talents and you put it into good use, and you put it to level up people and to help people and to show up for them and to, so yeah. But it's great that you drew the best from your situation, and from what your grandmother was to you, in order to put that to good use and to help other people, because that's what it's about, isn't it?
It is. It's about giving. I think she says sometimes people when they give, they expect something back, right? It's like I
Yeah.
give you this, therefore you should. Grandma
Yeah.
said
You
that
owe
mean
me.
yeah, that mentality is actually not from the heart.
No. That's
That
ego.
yeah, and she's like, no, it's in your head. And sometimes perception becomes reality, and we live in our heads all the time. And she said, I know you have a lot of trauma. Someday, one day, it's going to heal and you're going to see beautiful things. I
Mm.
used to get in trouble, Isabel, at school. My teachers were nuns, okay, nuns. The rules were so much rules, it's not funny. And I used to get eraser thrown at me because I talked too much. Yeah, and I would get into the principal and I would get black eyes because the boys would tease me like, "Oh, you're like this
Hmm.
because you don't have mom and dad because they hate you and they don't love you. That's why they
Aw.
left you." Like all of these growing up, right? So I had some anger issues. And every time they say that, I would jump from the table and start punching and the boys would punch back and I was like, "Oh yeah." And I would come home with a black eye. And so my
Can't
grandma's
imagine.
like, you have to stop this. Like somehow you have to stop this. She goes, just concentrate in your school because you're good at it, and that's it. That's it. And she would do that. And I hated school. I remember when I was 5, I wouldn't go to school if I didn't have ice cream.
What
And
happened then? You, how many
I don't
PhDs do you have?
I know. And then there's this coin like this coin. And grandma says, if you go to school, I'll fill it up with coins. So if she doesn't give me money on my little coin thing, I wouldn't go to school. And so, because I could buy ice cream, right? And it was hilarious. And then after that, they said, if you get A's and you are number one on everything, then your mom and dad will come back, right? They'll come back for you because
Aw.
education is everything for Asian families, especially my
Yeah.
family. So I would compete on everything, number one on everything. And then when I get my award ceremony every year, I would look, I'm like, oh, maybe my parents is here because I'm number one now. Mind you, there's about 10,000 students and I'm always number one. Am I the most athletic? I'm like, I'll be a cheerleader. But if you're gonna talk to me about math, science,
Yeah.
I'll bring it. And that was my motivation for education is because I needed my parents to love me.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's very touching motivation, especially for kids, right? Because that's what we want the most, and that's what we need the most as kids, is to be loved and feel that we are loved unconditionally by our parents. It's tough. And
yeah,
it's so funny because you and I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk about me, but you and I have had this a discussion this week when we met with the wonderful Christine Bell. And I realized by talking with you ladies that part of the part of what my beautiful dog brought me was to finish healing my heart from losing my mom when I was a child. Because I know it's not the same kind of love, but it is, because love is love, right? And he loved me unconditionally, like my mom had loved me unconditionally. So he helped me heal that wound. And it's so important. It's so important to feel as a kid to feel the unconditional from our parents. So how did you manage that lack? Like with growing up, with the adult that you are now, how do you manage the fact that you didn't get that as a kid?
I didn't. I was like, I was angry.
Okay.
I would, but here's the thing. Some people's addiction when you're in pain and trauma, it could be drugs, alcohol, gambling, right? You name it. My addiction was education, still is. I'm still in
Mm,
school, by the way, in my fifth degree. That's my addiction. But then I
yeah.
think, okay, my $500,000 like education's costing. What am I doing with it? If I die today, like what am I doing with it? I almost died 8 times, by the way. That's why if you see me trying to work hard as fast as I could on
Yeah.
everything, it's because I know my time is coming. But I want to make as
Yeah, you can't do
many
that to us
impact.
though.
I want to
Sorry, I
make
didn't
as
mean to. I'm
many
sorry, I
impact.
really mean.
No, because here's the thing. Nothing is guaranteed. I know that God put me here for a reason. Whether I went to my trauma or not, it's what makes me who I am today.
Hmm.
Um, but at the same time, it's like if people don't see it, it's okay. But I see it so clearly that our purpose, our passion, our everything that we've got, it's not for us. It's
No.
for other people to see their full potential. It's like a cup, right? If it's like a cup. When you are thirsty, you're going to keep drinking that water or that coffee. But somehow it needs to get filled up so you could see that you're going to get full again. All of us are always kind of busy doing this and that and this and that. So our cup gets emptied. What I want to do is fill the cup with love and compassion and passion. And just like that butterfly of inspiration, you're like, I don't know what the F I'm doing today, but I'm going to do something. I don't know what
Hmm.
something is. Dr. Leland, what is something today? And that's what my students always say. I'm like, well, did you drink your water today? That's what Susanna and I do. No? Okay, let's do that. Did you read something today that just like, ooh, I'm motivated? And they're like, oh, I got to do that, right? Sometimes we need someone to kind of just be in our ear, but
Yes.
make sure whoever is in your ear makes you feel good. If you question yourself, if you have like an integrity issues that's running to your head, whoever is in your ear is not filling your cup the right way.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's so, as people pleaser, it is so easy to because we need that unconditional love. We still seek it from being abandoned or from being, so I'm I'm two things. I'm a recovered pessimist, and I am also a recovered people pleaser because it's so it's so easy to need people, and some people are gonna keep you down and drag you down because that's all they know. I'm not even sure that they do it on purpose. I'm not even sure that they do it maliciously. I don't believe there are as many mean people on the planet as there are good people on the planet. I truly don't believe that. It's just who do you surround yourself with? And you have to, and I've had this discussion with many people in my lifetime and recently as well. We have to be willing to cut ties with people who keep us down when we're trying to go up. But there's there's a moment when you've raised yourself a little bit and these level people are going, you're too good for we're not good enough for you anymore. But it's very lonely because you haven't met these people yet. So you're in a void, like a social void where you don't fit in where you were, but you don't quite yet fit into where you're going. So when we have people like you around, that just brings everybody up. and just loves on everybody is just so refreshing because it's like, oh my God, somebody's gonna give a shit about me, about my heart, about what I'm trying to accomplish. But I can't imagine, like I've said all of this to come to this question. I can't imagine what that feels like for you because you do it for everybody else, but who does it for you?
My kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
They
beautiful.
remind me. I literally like vomit everything to my kids. My kids are so smart. It's not even funny. I'm like, whoa, I made that. Whoa, I'm accomplished. Like, after all the degrees, this kid is super smart, talented, beautiful, sassy, and sometimes get on my nerves because it's like
That's okay.
reflection of my mirror. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, I made that. Like, I'm accomplished from that. Can you imagine
Oh.
making your own human like better than you? That is so amazing. My kids are so much better, more beautiful, taller, thank God. Even if it's 2 inches, But I was like, that was my goal. Just make them beautiful, smart, and taller than me. We're good. And God gave
How
me
old are
that.
they?
20 soon and 17 soon. Yeah.
Okay. I disagree. I don't think you are old enough to have a
Ah.
20-year-old. I don't believe you. I mean, I
Oh.
believe you because I believe you, but yeah, no, you're not old enough to have a 20-year-old.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, the pre-menopause BS that I'm going through, like hot, cold, sweaty. I'm like, what is happening with my body? And then I was walking and my knee started to hurt. I'm like, this is not good. What is happening? And my husband's like, you need to take vitamins. But I'm like, oh man, my dad was right. When you were younger, like in your 20s, you're like, yeah, I got the best car, the best bags, the best clothes. In your 30s, like, I got the best house, I got the best dog, right? In your 40s, you're like, I don't know what I've got right now. I've got everything else. And then closer to 50, I got this disease, I got that disease, I got this mental
It's
issues.
not it's not that bad. I'm 52. It's not that
Oh
bad.
my
It's
god.
yeah, menopause. This is not the show for this, but
Yeah.
menopause is no fun. I'm not going to
No.
pretend that it's fun, but there are really good pills out there. And let
I
me
need
tell
those
you,
pills.
I take estrogen every day, and if I don't, there are a lot of chances of me ending up in jail for more than likely murder. So it's, I'll take the estrogen
Yeah.
and
I'm
that's
gonna need that.
okay.
No, I'm gonna
Yeah.
need
And
that
that's okay.
because
Yeah.
oh my goodness. But I surround myself with my core, and my kids are the ones
Mm,
that I know they got my back.
yeah.
It's
Your
funny
husband, I'm
because
guessing too?
oh yeah, my husband is my best supporter, and my kids, they're my family. That's my core, and
Yeah.
I have really good core friends like you, like Mike, like
Oh,
Susanna,
likewise,
will tell
Susanna.
me we're like CJ. I think you need to go a little bit. I'm like, dang it, dang it. Um, but also gets me checked. Like, hey, maybe you should do this. And I love that because, I'm so jealous of people when they said, oh, my mentor said this and my mentor said that. I never had a mentor.
Mm.
The
No,
only
because you are the mentor.
but see, I met
Naturally, you're the mentor.
Warren Buffett was one of my mentor when I met him in person.
Oh.
He is the kindest man, and he just taught me two things in life that I will always remember.
Please
Everything
share.
that we do, two things. He said, "Don't complicate your life, CJ." I didn't even know who this man was. I was in my 20s when I met him because I worked for Geico and I was the youngest manager, 100 people. I had 100 people at age 20 on a call center. And then I was in sales and I was, of course, the top sales because I'm very competitive. To meet him, we had to. He said he had a lunch with 12 of us out of 3,000. He said, two things in life you have to remember. I said, what is that two things? Because I was telling him about the business side, and he's like, don't complicate your life.
Mm.
Whatever you do and decide right now, it can lead you to only two things. Is this what I'm doing and what I'm deciding for my opportunities to grow? Or is this what I'm doing and deciding my limitations for growth? That's it.
Oh my God. And you know what? I am not at all surprised that it was simple. This multi-billionaire gentleman still lives in the house he bought in the 1960s. He paid $30,000 for. And
Toyota
he
Corolla,
and
1984.
he
That's his
still
car.
drives himself.
Yep,
And let me tell you, if I had 1% of his fortune, I wouldn't be driving no more because I hate driving. But yeah, but you know what? I love what you just shared, CJ, because I literally, like, right there in my office, I literally have a sign that says the answer is always simple, but the ego needs to complicate things. So I love that. I love that you either work to grow or you're working towards blocking your own growth. And there's only two things.
that's it.
It's
Growth
it's
limitations. Growth limitations.
that's it. Oh, I love that. Oh, goodness gracious, I'm so happy you're my friend. I'm blessed. I'm blessed beyond belief. My last question is, have you found your life's purpose? If you did, how?
Yes. Um, I've always wanting to help people. Growing up, I've always had. But I think 2 years ago when I started being a dean online, I was a dean on ground. COVID happened. I quit that job because I couldn't come in, obviously. Then I became a dean at a different university. It was kind of funny because I was a dean of business accounting and IT. And I'm like, I'm not even related, but okay. But my degree was on it. So they were like, you got this. I was like, yeah, I got this. Um, that was the busiest day of my life, actually, days, I should say. And I love people. So through podcasting, I did it because I wanted to change the way people communicated in my team. And from there, I wanted to quit when I quit being a dean. But when people tell you that you saved their life,
Hmm.
literally tell you, you saved my life, I wanted to kill myself,
Hmm.
that changed my purpose and got really narrowed down. And then about June of last year, it changed again because I wanted to continuously level up myself. And that's the reason why I always want to help people because God has blessed me
Hmm.
with the thoughts in the brain to see what I can do for people when they don't know what I can do for them.
I think we all need people like you, CJ, in our lives, and I think that having someone like you helps us to know what we're capable of, because we all I think we're all broken. Let's not pretend we're not. We're all broken, and we all have different ways of fixing ourselves. And yes, some people will turn to alcohol or drugs or sex or gambling or overworking, being overachievers or whatever, because they're trying to feel something. They're trying to fill that void, regardless of what the cause of that void is. But because we're all broken, we need people to tell us that they believe in us, to tell us what we are capable of because we don't see it anymore. And you do that for so many people. It's not even funny. I look from a distance. I'm in Montreal, you're in San Diego, California. I look at your daily life and everything you accomplish and I'm tired. I'm tired. We're not the same age either, but I'm tired. I'm like, holy crap. I mean, you were live last night. You were live earlier that day. You're live this morning, and your day is just starting. And I'm like,
I'm live in a
oh,
couple hours with Susanna.
I need a nap, man. But
Yeah.
it's okay because it's beautiful. You use who you are and your tools and your greatness and your energy level. And it's okay that we don't all have the same energy, but you're using all of that and you're pushing people up and dragging us with you. And I appreciate it so much, and I love you so much. And
Yeah.
there isn't much that I wouldn't do for you, and I can't wait to give you a freaking bear hug. And once I'm done putting you down, I'll back up because you're gonna need to take your distance to see me. I
I
suspect I'm a
know.
little shorter than Susanna, though. But yeah, I'm a tall chick.
How tall are you?
5'10".
Oh, yeah. See, my dad actually for Asian is tall, 5'11". My grandfather also is for Chinese, pure 100% Chinese, is 6 foot. So it's kind of weird, like how that happened. But I realized when we tracked down the family, we just did that when my grandfather died about 10 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, that our family in China from Guangzhou um, actually originated in Mongolia, and I think the reason that they're taller, and I see a difference in my grandfather too, is because I think they're Mongolian Russian. I
Ah,
that
yeah,
little,
yeah, yeah.
so when
It's the
I get
Russian part.
yeah, it's when I get mad and they're like, "Oh, there goes Genghis Khan," mini version, because I used to get so angry that I
Mm.
would throw crap and it would just be flying everywhere. And when I met my husband, actually, he said, you are not allowed to buy Bath and Body Works. They used to have it like what do you call this? Glass, and it would break because I would just like, what are you talking about? And I would just throwing
Ah.
things. And he's like, plastic only. Mm-mm, we're not doing no
How
more glass.
how tall is your husband?
6'1".
Oh, wow. Oh, Susanna, you're only
Five
one
eleven.
inch taller than I. Oh, I'm surprised, honey. I'm really surprised. But yeah, 6'1". So you break your neck?
Yeah, no, I would tell him to sit down, and when he's sitting down, he's still taller than me. I'm like, this is so not fair. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
But
okay.
I'm used to I like tall people because I feel protected. Even
Yeah.
though he says I embarrassed him because when I'm like on public, I'll be like, and I can't find him. Honey, and he's like, you could call me on a cell phone instead of screaming on Costco, right? Like you could.
Oh, honey, I love everything about you. So, do you have a question for me?
Yes, yes. So here's the
No.
thing.
Okay. I feel I've spoken a lot. I've spoken a lot in this podcast.
No,
No,
I
it's true.
would love to ask you, like, in the last 20 years of your life, right? Things change, lots of things happening, adversity going through.
Yeah.
What keeps you going, Isabel? What motivates and inspires you every day?
Oh, that's a good question. What motivates me every day? I really believe that I am incapable of quitting. I mean, I'm capable of moving on, and there's a big difference between the two. If I know I'm on the right path, if I know I'm doing what I'm being called for, I'll never quit. If I move on, it's because it didn't jive with me. It didn't resonate with me. It wasn't aligned with who I am. And honestly, some days, not every day, some days are filled with joy and filled with laughter and filled, but I tend to find it funny and everything. But yeah, it's my incapability of quitting and my I love laughing. I laugh. I burst out laughing every day. Every day. I used to teach. I was a fitness instructor for a decade. I gave more than 5,000 classes of fitness. I didn't have one that I didn't burst out laughing, and me and all the groups. So laughter is very, very, very important. I will find the funny in everything. And we've spoken about this, and I don't want to make this about me, but like I had to put down my dog on Monday, and it was one of the saddest moments of my life because he was my life companion, and my two of my closest friends were with me to support me, and we found a way to laugh, and we need to find a way to laugh. So it's, yeah, laughter and my
Um,
not being able to quit. That's the two things that keep me going.
that is so amazing. I love
You have a
laughing.
picture of your dog? Is that what you were looking for? Oh, honey.
My
Oh,
son, his name is
how long
Rocket.
ago did he pass?
November. I
Oh,
keep him in here all the time because he was my best friend. Every time I get sad or I remember my grandmother or anything that makes me sad, he knows. He comes to me, he keeps,
oh
he
yeah.
licks me and he licks in my lap. And in his eyes, I swear he's a human inside. Like his eyes
Mm,
just understand you. And it's
yeah.
amazing, when my student says, who teaches you all the time, I said, if I get a bad attitude or I start growling at you in online, it's because I hang out too much with my bulldogs. They snore, they're stubborn, they get what they want, and they start growling if they don't. So I start getting, "Urgh." That's my bulldog trained me every day. Like I'm just saying.
You know what great pets are great? Actually, I have two cats. I used to own a horse, and I had to put down Oscar this week, but I find that animals in general, but especially house pet, what they have taught me in my life is to stay in the present.
Yep.
Stay in the moment.
Yep.
My little female cat this morning, she had me in stitches. I swear. She got up. She's on the couch with me, and she got up and she's walking towards her bowl of water. I know that's where she's going. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
we've lost CJ. Where are you going?
No, because I want to show you something. I had a
Oh,
cat.
okay.
My cat passed recently, so one of the people that I know from TikTok, which I have to do this for this person, he says, I have a perfect backpack for you, CJ.
Oh my God.
It's a backpack.
It's perfect for you.
I know.
Oh my God.
And I don't have to clean the cat litter, thank God. Well, I have an automatic cat litter thing, but like,
Yeah,
look
the
at
automatic cut
him.
litters. Oh, oh, with the pink bow and everything. Oh, that's so you. That is so you.
I'm gonna make a crown for this one, and I'm gonna make a dress for her. Like, yeah, I
Oh
go all
my,
out on everything. I used to
that's
have 15
that's
guinea pigs, a wild boar, a 350-pound hog. I had a bunny in this house, and I live in a golf course, not on a farm. So my HOA was not happy. So I had to go gave my hog and my wild boar to a petting zoo, and I cried
no,
so
no,
much.
I
And it
agree.
was because my daughter loves animals. We love animals. My husband had a 6-foot iguana. It's hilarious. And we gave him up to the zoo. Like if I could have a farm and I have enough money, I would definitely would have a llama, a goat. I grew up with goats. I grew up in a farm, so it's like I love animals, but like if I wanted to be, I love to live in the city, but with animals.
Yeah, that's a little bit more difficult. Susanna is saying it's perfect backpack for
I
you.
know. I know. You know
Hey,
what?
before, yeah, go
We need
ahead,
a
hon.
summit. No, we need an HOB summit, Hounds of Business Summit for all
Yeah,
of us, right? And then you can
we
come.
we we do. Yeah, but I think it should be in Canada because the money is cheaper here. You literally get 35 cents more on each dollar.
Hmm.
Think about that.
Hmm. Yeah,
We're
but
gonna talk to.
only no, only if the snow melts. I am not a
Oh,
snow
no, no, no,
lady.
no. Yeah, no, no, not in the winter. Are you crazy in the head? I don't want to be here in the winter. No, 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 no. In the summer. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, honey, thank you so much for being here. Tell me, please tell everybody in the audience how we reach you and how can we support you and where do we find you?
So if you just Google Constance Leland, I should pop up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
should.
I think so.
But I hang out on LinkedIn a lot. So if you just look at Constance Leland on LinkedIn, I'm there. That's where my hobby is. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, obviously, and sometimes TikTok when I don't feel lazy. But at the same
YouTube, you
time,
have a YouTube channel.
yeah, I'm trying to grow my YouTube to 50,000, crossing my finger.
What's the name of YouTube
Level Up
channel? Is it?
Academy.
Oh,
Level Up
wonderful.
Academy, always Level Up Academy. Because we have courses, which I'm actually gonna give away free chapters today at 9 a.m.
Woohoo!
Um, to win free chapters
1
to
a.m.
count.
Pacific.
Yeah, 9 a.m. Pacific. So I'd say in about an hour and 15 minutes. Because I believe in getting your story out there as many
Yeah.
people should be able to read. So
Mm.
the goal is to inspire people. That is the goal.
And
Crossing my finger.
you do a great job at that.
Thank you. You do the same, by the way. I've been
Thank you.
watching you.
Thank you, sweetheart. I can't wait to meet you and give you a big hug. I can't wait to meet
Yay.
all everybody. Yeah, I feel very honestly, I feel very lonely up here in Canada. I think I'm the only one now. So, yeah, but it's okay. Soon I'm gonna at least go spend my winters close to San Diego.
Yes, yes. Don't go to Susanna either. She had a little bit of snow. I was like, no,
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 thank
no, no, no,
you.
no snow. If I'm going to leave and during the winters to avoid the winter months in Canada, I'm not going to go where it snows. Are you crazy? No, 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 no,
No,
no,
no.
no.
We wear shorts here. Lately it's been raining, but usually we wear shorts here 365.
Hey, you can wear shorts even when it's raining.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Sweetheart, you're so great. I love you so much. Thank you for spending that time with me. I know you're freaking busy and yet you were here, you gave me your time. I appreciate it. And guys, next week I'm introducing you to the wonderful Sierra. She is all hearts because that's the prerequisite to be my guest. And
That's right.
I will see you guys next week. Bye
Bye. See
everybody.
ya.